Hi, I'm Donna with Williamson Source, and today we're here to talk with Brad Mathias about his book that he just released called Road Trip to Redemption. If you are a parent with several children, you will want to read this book. It talks about their journey. And Brad, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm the father of three. I have 2 teenage daughters and a teenage son. Been married 23 years by God's grace. I work in the Christian media world, and I'm a pastor on the weekends.
So you live a very full life, very busy.
I do.
In this book, it talks about some struggles you had financially, with your marriage, with one of your children. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. When my daughter turned 14, she had a very difficult time transitioning from 8th grade to her freshman year of high school. And in that process, there were a season of great depression. There was a time in her life when she was suicidal. And we were unaware of that. As parents, we thought she was just going through typical teen rebellion or angst, as they say. But it actually turned out to be something much deeper than that.
Can you tell us how you chose to connect with her and how you figured out what was going on with her?
Yes, through a process of prayer and counseling, it became clear that we as a family had disconnected, that we had gotten so busy keeping up with all the things that every family has to keep up with in the normal suburban life of America, that somewhere in all of that hustle and bustle, we had forgotten to keep up with our kids. And so the idea of doing an epic road trip as a family was hatched and planned and prepared, and 7 months later we did do an epic road trip.
So tell me a little bit about the second half of this book is about that road trip. Can you tell me some highlights from your road trip with your family? I mean, piling 5 people into a car, and how far did you travel? And
well, we did it big. We decided if we were going to do an epic road trip, we should do it big. And so we drove 7,000 miles across 14 different states, a couple Canadian provinces, and took 2 weeks. So it was a big trip.
And then you had other family members who joined you on this trip?
We did. It was a multi-generational trip. We had my parents fly into Banff, Canada, so they didn't have to make the drive that we did. And my brother and his kids, he has 3 kids as well, and his wife, they met up with us halfway, and we drove together part of this trip as a big family.
So you mentioned multi-generational. Do you feel like that was helpful in bringing your family through this crisis?
I do. I think we get isolated as Americans. We get busy and people move and they follow their careers, and it's so easy to lose connection with one another. And so this road trip was a really good opportunity for the entire family to reconnect. My brother lives in North Carolina, and my parents had lived in Virginia, and we lived here in Nashville. So to get us all in one place for a period of time was a real treat.
And so tell me about after the road trip, how was your family different?
Well, of course, a lot of that is in the book, but a significant difference was that I think my kids grew in their confidence and exploring new cultures in different parts of America, seeing things they'd only read about, and finding out that you could actually do things rather than just read about them online was a big surprise for them, that the adventure itself was better than just an electronic world. So that was cool.
And so if there is a family out here who's listening to this who might be in crisis, what steps would you tell them to take first?
Well, I think families who are in crisis often are afraid to talk about it. I think there's a need to sort of cover it up and even deny it within the family. And so my first step of advice would be to confront the issue head on as a mom and dad, and just say, we have a problem, we need help. And to begin the process of talking to a pastor or a priest or a good counselor that could help them begin a process of healing from that.
Brad, if they want to find out more information about this road trip to redemption, where can they find that?
Well, this book is available wherever Christian books are sold, from family Christian bookstores, Lifeway, all the way to Amazon.com. So you can get it pretty much anywhere right now. And you can also go online and reach out and talk to me through roadtripparenting.com. And that's a weekly blog that I do that has a large number of followers, and it's a great place for parents to find help.
That's great. Well, if you haven't picked up this book yet, be sure to pick up this book, Road to Redemption by Brad Mathias. You will be cry, you will laugh, and you will certainly learn how to connect with your family.